Morning, family. Um, I've got several inquiries from our family globally, and talking about the challenges they are facing with getting jobs. And I decided, I'm going to talk about it. So keep your comments coming, keep your questions coming, and you never know, we'll take it up. The glitch for this conversation is too many job rejection. When I came to the country where I'm in the UK at the moment in 2015, I had a master's degree and with almost a distinction, and I worked in government at senior levels, but nobody would employ me because I had no experience working here in the UK. So what did I do? I, of course, did what every other person would do. I went into care, went into working as a barista for restaurants. I know some students who have come in here working in a warehouse, etc. There's nothing wrong with that. But we all have professional aspirations and things we hope to want to be, which is why, we are bettering our lives. And so what I decided to do at some point was, I've got to find a way to get into the, professional job market. So I wanted to be a teacher. So I went on and I started applying to work in colleges and schools, but nobody would employ me. So someone said to me, "Have you tried volunteering?" I said, "Oh, okay." So I started calling up schools in Sheffield where I lived then. I called and called and called. I sent emails. Nobody would pick me up. Nobody would give me any offer. But it takes usually just one yes, one door for your lot to change. So I got a yes, King Edward College. And I went in there and I taught maths as a volunteer. During one of the demonstration sessions when I was teaching, the head teacher was passing by and she liked the passion, she liked the atmosphere. I was teaching naughty children. I'm naughty, and so I'm an expert in naughtiness. So I was able to get them calm down and they were doing their work. I think the 11 students thereabout. And she said, "You know what, Dennis, who are you?" And I explained myself. She said, "We may have an advert on the Sheffield Council website. Go and think about it and apply." And I did, and went for the interview, and I did everything, and I got the job. Just a volunteer opportunity, and a door was open. But don't forget, this opportunity did not come straight. More than 35 other schools had said no. If you allow no's to stop you, you would not progress. So, but when you get no's, first of all, find out why are they saying no in your application, which is the second thing I want to talk about. Many times people use one CV for care job, the same CV for warehouse job, the same CV for porter job, the same CV for restaurant job. No, it would not work. People don't take time to apply for jobs again today. Take your time, look at the job you are applying for. Make sure that your CV and cover letter is written to suit the job you are applying for. Make sure your experiences and skills are the ones that are more relevant. That's the one you put first before you bring in the others. It's very important that you're not, regurgitating CVs and just sending them out there. Changing the roles, application for the role of this, just change it, apply. No, you've got to be more methodical and more intentional and more careful. Let's do our bit and then leave the rest. So that is very, very, very important. So advice number 1, please check your CV. Now there are a lot of tools online that you can use to check your CV, and of course we have other professional services available. For those of you who are in universities, go to your careers team, get your CVs checked, they'll do it for you. Other opportunities are there as well. So please check your CV and make sure it is best spoke to the job you're applying for. Second, I know I've talked about volunteering earlier. I cannot overemphasize the importance of volunteering. Now, a lot of people have come to me and say, "Okay, I'm volunteering, in a particular charity, or I'm volunteering in a religious organization." I say that's very important, but what role are you volunteering? If you are a business analyst and you're volunteering as a cashier, how does that help you? So you need to start thinking about volunteering in roles that are specific and relevant to where you see yourself in the future. That is critical. So I encourage you to do that. Again, like I said from my experience, when you call up the organizations, you may get a big no, but there is always a yes in the corner. So pick up the phone, go on LinkedIn, check them out, email them, call. 90% of the time or 99% of the time, you may not get an answer that is positive, but there's always a 1% that you need to make the change. Do that. Very, very important. Do that. So volunteer, work on your CV, and keep faith. A problem that I've noticed that students have is that, or people have in general, is that we often think that because I'm an accountant, I've got to work in an accounting firm, or because I studied human resources, I've got to work in human resources or law, etc. But that's not always the case. Somebody who is an accountant can work in a hospital, can work in a bank, can work in a school, can work practically anywhere. Same thing with human resources, same thing with business, same thing with marketing. The skills we learn in our programs are transferable. So could it be that you've boxed yourself in and identified yourself by your degree, by the certificate you have in your hands? This is something that we need to start thinking about and start looking into as well. Consider the options available. Be more broad-minded, be more open-minded with the options and the things you can do with your skill. With accounting, I worked in long term. I worked in business development. I worked in marketing. I worked in human capital. But so you can see that there is a lot you could do with your degree. So don't box yourself in. Have an open mind, explore, and see that there are a lot of transferable skills and things you can do with your career. Look for graduate roles, yes, but don't get yourself boxed in to say it has to be accounting or it has to be engineering or a particular role, because as a graduate you have a very valuable tool, which is your degree, for which you can do a lot with. So when you're in Indeed, TotalCVJobs.com, or whatever website you use to search for jobs, don't box yourself in, don't limit yourself. Look at the things that you can do and send out those applications. Remember, before I got my first full-time job, I applied 72 times. And that's when I learned that, you cannot just take one CV and apply. You have to keep changing and changing and changing and changing. I have learned today, I mentor people today, I support younger colleagues today because of that experience. So if you're watching this video today, my advice is get your CVs checked, seek for volunteer opportunities, and keep faith. Do not let the rejections, become your identity. Your one yes is just by the corner. Can I just say to you that one of these days I'll talk about dealing with rejection, because it's something that is also very important, because it can affect your identity, it can affect your morale. It's very important that you look at it in that way. You are not your job. You're first and foremost, as I always say, important. You're somebody. You're all in yourself. Wonderful. Your work is only a compliment. So keep applying, keep looking, keep knocking, and your door is just by the corner. Good luck with your applications. Get your CVs checked, and look for volunteer opportunities. And when those jobs start to come in, contact us just like you've done. Share your comments, like this, and hopefully we are rooting for you. We are holding the fort for you, and we are trusting that some good news is coming your way. But don't give up. Don't just apply with the same CV. Get it checked.